Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Isabel Wong.
And I'm Harminder Singh. Here are tonight's top stories.
7.5 magnitude earthquake triggers tsunami in Indonesia, killing hundreds.
Excavation work at Wan Chai's Exhibition Center station will resume.
Passenger numbers on Express Rail Link nearly half of government estimates, but Golden Week holiday may boost numbers.
At least 384 people are dead after a tsunami triggered by a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit the Indonesian island of Sulawesi.
Many victims were swept away by giant waves that measured up to 6 meters high.
This is the moment a 3-meter-high tsunami swept through the capital of central Sulawesi in Indonesia. A large bridge that spanned a coastal river fell. Debris from collapsed buildings could be seen everywhere in the city of Palu. A mosque, heavily damaged by the quake, was half submerged in seawater. The tsunami was triggered by a 7.5 magnitude earthquake yesterday. Indonesia's meteorological agency issued a tsunami warning after the quake, but lifted it 34 minutes later. The agency was accused of lifting the warning before the tsunami hit Palu, but officials said the waves hit while the warning was in force. Communications within the area are spotty as power and telecommunications are cut. Injured people were being treated in makeshift medical tents set up outdoors. Indonesian President Joko Widodo said he had instructed the security minister to coordinate the government's response to the quake and tsunami. He also said he had called on the country's military chief to help with search and rescue efforts. Indonesia sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire and is regularly hit by earthquakes and tsunamis. In December 2004, a massive 9.1 magnitude earthquake off Sumatra in western Indonesia triggered a tsunami that killed 230,000 people in a dozen countries.
Excavation work at Wan Chai's Exhibition Center station will resume. Nearly 2 months after work was ordered stopped after it was discovered that nearby structures were sinking beyond acceptable limits.
The government said the structures are safe, but it also relaxed subsidence limits, making the threshold much wider than before. Karen Yeung reports.
Excavation work at Exhibition Center station in Wan Chai was halted last month after dozens of monitoring points in surrounding areas reported subsidence that went past thresholds. 7 weeks later, the government has given the green light for the MTR to resume work at the shut into Central Link station. In a statement issued late last night, a government spokesman said the decision was made after authorities confirmed relevant structures were safe. Authorities have also reviewed a detailed analysis by the MTR, as well as a proposal to relax subsidence limits. The latest readings at 121 monitoring points around the station were released with the revised limits. Despite some monitoring points sinking further since work was stopped, all were within new threshold levels. Tolerance limits were relaxed up to 95 millimeters. Previous thresholds ranged between 10 to 25 millimeters. A pavement at the construction site, which sank by almost 2 millimeters within a month, from 75 to 76.9 millimeters, was now considered safe, since it is well below the new limit of 95 millimeters. The government spokesman said the revision was permitted by the Highways Department, which agreed with the MTR that public safety would not be compromised. Speaking after his London visit, Chief Secretary Matthew Chung said authorities were watching closely in a bid to reassure the public. Chung said work would be suspended or rectified if problems emerged, adding that the public should trust the professional engineers. Critics earlier accused authorities of keeping the public in the dark about the subsidence problem. It only came to light after it was revealed by the media. To enhance transparency, the Highways Department, Buildings Department and MTR have set up a new announcement mechanism. The MTR should notify the two departments as soon as it found neighboring structures sinking beyond the threshold or if there was a threat to safety. The departments are then expected to complete inspections within 48 hours to determine if structures are safe. Statements to the media with explanations and monitoring data will also be released. Karen Yang, HKIBC.
Well, it's been a week since the express rail link came into service, but daily passenger figures are still far below the government's estimate of 80,000.
Around 41,000 travelers used the service yesterday, but the Golden Week holiday may be the opportunity the government was looking for to boost ridership. Karen Young reports.
First week passenger figures of the express rail link did not seem to live up to the government's expectation. Even the opening day hype was not enough to 80,000 as the government estimated. According to the Immigration Department, arrivals and departures through the West Kowloon control point totaled 41,502 yesterday. Mainland travelers made up about 60% of the total, while Hong Kongers made up 35%. The Golden Week holiday, which started yesterday to the 7th of October, will be a chance for passenger figures to reach the estimate. But in the lead up to the holiday, it was not too crowded at West Kowloon Station today. Visitors in general were happy with the train service. This passenger from Changsha said coming to Hong Kong has become more convenient, with the bullet train service going directly to the city center. He added that it was worth the price. He was also happy with the quick customs and immigration clearance process. Although this Shenzhen couple also found the journey speedy and convenient, they may not take the express train back home.